All right, welcome. Today, we're really diving into what it's like to live with retinitis pigmentosa. We're going to move from the challenges the condition presents to some really powerful ways you can navigate them, all based on insights from our source material.
You know, this quote, it just hits so hard because it gets right to the heart of the matter. Imagine your world, which you've always known as whole, suddenly shattering into these jumbled pieces. That disorienting feeling of losing your place in space. That's exactly what we're going to unpack together in this explainer.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll explore that fragmented world and some of the phantoms that can appear. Then, and this is crucial, we're going to shift into proactive strategies, how to reclaim your space and tap into the incredible power of your own mind.
So let's start with the really big one. How does retinitis pigmentosa actually change the way you see the world? It can lead to this profound sense of losing your physical space, and with it, your feeling of safety.
The first major challenge to wrap your head around is this thing called tunnel vision. It's like your field of view is slowly closing in, as if you're looking through a narrow tube. Everything on the sides, the periphery, just vanishes. And that makes it incredibly tough to judge your surroundings, even in a place you know like the back of your hand.
And that loss of side vision, it's not just an inconvenience. It creates real, everyday dangers. We're talking about the step you didn't see, the corner of a coffee table that seems to jump out at you, or a car you just can't track properly. Living in that constant state of alert, well, it can really chip away at your confidence and make the idea of just going outside alone feel overwhelming.
But, the challenges aren't just about what you can't see. Sometimes it's about what you do see. So let's talk about a really common and often pretty confusing symptom that many people with RP experience.
A lot of folks with RP talk about seeing flashes of light or other weird visual effects that aren't actually there. This has a name. It's called photopsia. And what's happening is that the damaged retina is sending out these false electrical signals, so it's not an external light you're seeing.
And what people see can be all over the map. It could be like shimmering little stars, or flowing waves of light, or even these bright patches of color. These phantom lights often pop up more when you're tired or stressed out, and sometimes they can get in the way of the vision you do have.
So of course, this leads to a really important and kind of scary question that a lot of people have. Are these things real? Am I having hallucinations?
And I want to be super clear about this. No, this is not a hallucination. It has nothing to do with your psychological state. Photopsia is a purely physiological thing. It's a direct result of the changes happening in your eye. Think of it this way. It's your retina talking, not your mind playing tricks on you.
Okay, so we've laid out the challenges, but now, let's pivot. This is where we get into the solutions. The practical, empowering things you can actually do to get back that feeling of control, confidence, and independence in your life. Now, while there isn't a cure for RP just yet, our sources all point to this fantastic three-part strategy that can make a huge difference in your day-to-day life, using the right tools, learning some new skills, and making some smart changes to your environment. First up, let's talk tools. Specialized filter lenses can be an absolute game changer. They cut down on glare and really boost the contrast, making edges and objects just pop. And using a mobility cane, it's not a sign of defeat or total blindness. It's a smart, proactive tool. Think of it like an extension of your senses, helping you find those obstacles your peripheral vision might miss. And check this out. The power of simple contrast in your environment is just incredible. I mean, look at the difference. A low-contrast space can feel confusing, and that just ramps up anxiety. But when you create clear visual pathways with high contrast, you immediately get a greater sense of safety and, with it, more independence. And we're not talking about a massive home renovation here. These are simple, easy fixes. Putting a dark handrail on a light-colored wall gives you a clear, reliable guide, where putting up motion sensor lights in hallways can totally change the game when it comes to night blindness. It's all about making your own space feel safer and way more predictable. Okay, so all these physical tools and home fixes are absolutely vital, but they all lead back to the most powerful tool you have, which is your own mind and how you navigate the psychological journey. You know, living with a condition that changes over time, that creates this constant underlying stress. Our source material puts it so powerfully. It's this heavy pressure of waiting to go blind. That emotional weight is real, and it's something that absolutely needs to be acknowledged and dealt with directly.
And that's exactly why coping isn't just about your eyes. It's about building up your resilience, creating a strong support system. It means making an effort to stay social, maybe seeking out professional counseling, and definitely connecting with others in support groups who just get it. The goal is to shift the focus to your life as a whole person, not just as a patient.
And really, that brings us to the big takeaway here, a final thought I want to leave with you. Going through something like retinitis pigmentosa is a profound journey, and it kind of forces you to ask a much deeper question. Beyond any single sense, how do you define your own wholeness? It's a powerful reminder that our identity, our value, and our completeness are built from so much more than just what we can see.